Hope It Up starts now on WSBT-22 with Pete Byrne and Carl Devenbaugh.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hoop It Up. Well, here we are. Final day of the regular season in Indiana for boys basketball. Final day of boys basketball ever in the Northern State Conference as we know it.
But you know, it's going out with a bang. How about this race that we have 5 teams all within a game of first place entering the night?
Could be one big jumble mess by the end, or we could have someone standing alone. Let's start tonight with the leader of the conference, John Glenn, at home hosting New Prairie as they take the court. And early on, Glenn's Drew McDonald is going to fire down low to Levi Schlegg. Look how open he gets. It's like the parting of the Red Sea down there. Falcons out to a 7-point lead. Now it makes sense. Okay, so New Prairie would battle some great ball movement here. They kick it out to the wing where Justin Baltus is wide open. Knocks down the 3. That pulls New Prairie to within 5. This would be a close game throughout, but Glenn holds on with just enough. McDonald for the 3 ball. Glenn wins by those 3, 58-55 the final.
So Triton trying to keep pace atop the conference. They were at Knox tonight. We picked things up in the second half. Jordan Anderson fires one from the top of the key and nails it as the Trojans would build a double-digit lead in this game. The Redskins trying to stay in it as Scott Trojan, so Trojan playing against the Trojans, maybe a Trojan horse situation. Feeds the big man. Bradley LaRoe finishes the short jumper. Knox, though, still down 15. Triton would finish it off here off a missed shot. The Trojans get the offensive board and find Joey Corder lays it in. Triton wins 67-46, so they share the very last NSC championship with Glenn, despite the fact that they beat the Falcons back in January.
We'll always remember that. All right, so Jimtown and LaVille end of the night tied for New Prairie in third place, I should say. Blake Berger, we've seen a lot of him this year. Drives through a trio of defenders and scores. He had a big night tonight, but some good execution by Jimtown on the other end. Dylan Goldagger to Sam Pollock. Threads the needle. Pollock with a bucket, and he's fouled. That ties the game. So what do you do if you're LaVille? Well, you go back to number 4 because he can do this. Behind the back, taking on all comers, scoring with the left. He had 20 points tonight, but Jimtown just a little better. This same combo again, this time Pollock from behind the arc. This would go to overtime. Good game, but the Jimmies win it 66-64. They will face St. Joe in the sectional opener Tuesday. That'll be a good game. LaVille will play Bremen. All right, so we know the NIC season is over. Marion won the conference earlier this week with the win over Penn. Tonight, they kept their record intact. Their perfect undefeated record. They weren't challenged this one. They placed South Bend Career Academy, won 103-25.
It's a nice little scrimmage leading into playoffs there. Several other teams in the NIC also in action, looking for one last tune-up before their sectional runs begin. It's cold outside, so the Caveman kids ready for spring break indoors. The Mishawaka squad was hosting Culver Academies tonight, fourth quarter. Luke Shively uses a screen and knocks down a long 2. Cavemen led by 5, 39-34, but the Eagles able to beat the zone a couple times. That 3 from Elijah Miller makes it a Culver lead, 43-41, and then pick this up with 4 seconds to go. Mishawaka down 1, but it's Jacob Schmatz able to put in the game-winning bucket. Mishawaka wins 52-51. They have now won 2 of 3 heading into the playoffs. That's a nice run for them, and we have to thank Kyle Lawhorn for sending us that video of a thrilling finish.
Good stuff. The crowd goes wild. How about Goshen visiting St. Joe tonight? It's the AM 960 game of the week. We know all those guys. Close game tonight at halftime, but St. Joe takes over in the third quarter. Green and Sullivan back on the floor. Think that makes a difference?
A little bit.
You bet it does. Knocks down the 3, puts the Tribe up double digits. Later, they get out in the fast break and watch this. Francis Uzo going to throw it down with 2 hands. But before you get too excited, the officials wave it off. They call an offensive foul off the ball, so it doesn't count. Mike Bauer has seen better calls. Goshen desperately trying to hang on in this one. Brady Bechtel, great shot from the outside. Goshen back to within 9, but with Sullivan back, I tell you what, St. Joe is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the sectional. Sullivan finishes on the fast break, 21 for him on senior night. St. Joe wins it 52-38.
Goshen will have to get ready for their sectional opener at Elkhart Central next week. Blazers' final tune-up came tonight against LaPorte. Third quarter, the Slicers cross court to Owen Streeter as he buried that triple. LaPorte, though, down 24-19. Trayton Harris going to work with the baseline spin move. Blazers lead is up to 7 points, and then a textbook backdoor cut. Clinton Parker to Harris, 54-37. Central gets the win.
Other results in the NIC tonight: Penn falls on the road at Maryville, 74-61. Adams losing at Lake Central, and Valpo beats Clay 62-44 as the NIC teams taking on some other big boys trying to get ready for the sectional. All right, time to take a timeout, but when we come back after the break, we head out to Northern Lakes country where several teams are in action. We got more Hoop It Up right after this.